Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Wind Down Wednesdays with your girl, Joshia. And this week episode, we're going to be talking about just men and what they want from us. We're not going to be bashing men. We're not going to be saying men are difficult. We're going to be listing out everything that men want from us. So you're going to want to get your pen and papers, and you're going to want to stay tuned to see what I have to say, because honestly, I thought it was going to be a lot of things they want from us, but men really don't require a lot. I know, plot twist. But with that being said, let's get into our formalities for the show. So, you guys, I always feature a book. And this episode, we are going to be featuring Marie Forleo, and that is Everything is Figureoutable. Now, guess what? I read this book at a time in my life when I really thought that I sucked at relationships, and I thought I would just be the rich Annie at the cookout rather than somebody's wife. But then I figured out that it's not how you approach it, is what you do before approaching it, right? So basically, everything is figureoutable, like Marie said, and we're going to figure out exactly what men want from us in this episode as well. And also, don't forget to get a copy of my book 23 going on 2020. That's going to be available on Amazon, and guess what? It's on Amazon Prime, so you don't have to wait long. So get a copy of that book, because I literally give you 10 principles of life. 10, just 10. It's a very short book. It's a quick read. If you feel a little bit confused about everything that's going on, that is the book for you to read. So let's get into today's episode, and make sure you have your wine glasses ready, because you're going to need wine for this. Now, I did a lot of research before I got into this topic. And the reason I did research is because, men come in all different flavors, shapes, forms, race, but all of them have something in common. They all look for basically the 7 main qualities that they feel that a woman should have. Now, one of the persons that I actually listened to, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, why did you listen to that man? Kevin Samuels. Now, there are some things that I question about him, but then there are also some things that he is really accurate about, and you have to take him by a grain of salt, right? But there are some things that make sense. And one of the things that we have been going about wrong, ladies, is that we think we know what men want rather than just asking them what they want, right? And most of the times we make it seem like it's extremely hard, but no, it isn't. We are the more complicated of the sexes, actually. And when I read, I don't know if any of you have heard about this book. I think it's Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. I think it's something like that. I read that book like a year ago or 2 years ago. And when I read the book, it's women that have a lot of, they're really more complicated than men. Like, we make men to be very complicated because we just don't want to do the things that require us to be somebody's wife, because we have a problem with submission. Yep, you have a problem being submissive. I know. So all of you with that alpha woman energy, I mean, that's good inside of the work field. That's good when it comes to your business. But when you decide to have a man, we have to learn submission. And the reason that I say we is because I had to learn that too. Because I feel like I should run everything. And if I feel that way, I know you guys feel that way too. And this list is going to shock you, but then this list is going to help you. And I know it's going to help you if you actually start to practice this. Now, one of the first things I'm going to be in my phone because I have notes inside my phone, okay? So one of the first traits that men look for, is that they require you to be in the best shape that you can. Now, I know all of us cannot be a size 2. This isn't based on what I say. This wasn't based on what women say. This was based on what men say. Men said they prefer a woman that is in shape. Now, we have different BMIs, right? And for all of you that, plan on getting PBLs, you need a healthy BMI based on your height and based on your weight. Now, men prefer us to be at a healthy BMI for whatever size, height we are. That's just it. And to be honest with you, before a man gets to know you, the first thing he looks at is your outer appearance. I know it sounds shallow, but that's the truth. They look at us. They look at us and they decide, is this somebody I can pursue? And then also, I actually watched a series of videos on YouTube where it said that there are certain characteristics about women that cause men to be more attracted to them. For example, in our culture, I guess wider hips, even though we feel like wider hips is more appealing on a woman, men look at that as somebody that's good for bearing children. I know it sounds shallow, but that's just the statistics. That's what scientists said. And if you, for example, my BMI, I think it's between 155 and 165 for my height. So a man prefers me for my height, which is 5'6", to be between the size of 155 pounds to 165. Now, like I said, all of us are not going to be a size 2. All of us ain't going to be a size 6. I'm not a size 2, and I am a size 6 in a dress, but I wear double digits in my pants, okay? We understand that. But men prefer women that are in the best shape that they possibly can be in. So if you are a person that has been neglecting your health, if you are a woman that has been neglecting taking time to exercise like 20 minutes a day, if you are a woman that has been neglecting your beauty, you know, you have to put more effort in if you want to attract the mate that you are looking for. This is what men say. This is not what women say. This is what men say. So we're going to try what men say for once to see if it actually works. Now, I can say when I was on the heavier side, when I was over my normal weight, which and I was like almost to 200 pounds. Literally, I was almost to 200 pounds. I'm now to 170. And when I was almost to 200 pounds, I didn't feel healthy. I didn't feel like I looked right in my clothes. So it really wasn't even up to a man to tell me that. I made that decision on my own to decide to like slim down and get myself together. So it is my advice to you, if you want to feel good and you want to be confident when you go into this dating game, you need to make sure that you are going into the dating game with all of your T's crossed and your I's dotted. And one of those things is you're going to have to take your health serious, okay? We are trying to live longer for men, right? We don't want to be dying at an early age from diseases and then they bring another woman to our funeral. We don't want that. We're trying to live just as long as the man. And women have a higher life expectancy rate than men. I didn't even know that. They have a higher expectancy life rate. So therefore, we are going to make sure that Monday morning, we should be on the bridge. Monday morning, we should be by the stairs. And if you have a schedule, I feel like that is no excuse. When I was a former hotel worker, I had all kinds of shifts. I had overnight shifts. I had night shifts. I had morning shifts. I had mid shifts. And I always made time to exercise. I would find myself leaving the overnight shift at 7 a.m. with my gym clothes in hand, going to the gym, going to run the bridge at 8 a.m. You have to make that decision if you want to look your best. Because if you don't look your best, he's going to look at somebody else. That's just how it is. And then we get mad, and then we want to fight, and then we want to get angry. That's just how it is. Now, the second trait is more or less superficial. Men don't like no bitter woman. I know men said they prefer a woman that's healed. So I know a lot of times when we are not healed, it's because men caused it, right? But we can't beat every man with the same stick. We can't. We absolutely cannot beat every man with the same stick. And let me tell you something. I was on a Medusa rampage. I said Medusa because, you know, Medusa, like, she didn't like men. Like, Medusa was that Greek goddess. I think that's what she was. She was a Greek goddess that basically turned persons to stone when they looked at her, right? And there was a time I was so angry. I was very angry at men. I can even go to say that I probably hated men. I did. And I ran away. Good men. Matter of fact, when you guys see me out with my man, just know he applied pressure because I wasn't easy. I was not easy to deal with because I just felt all men were just out to take from you. I felt men did not know how to treat women, and then I started to develop something called masculine energy. And when I said masculine energy, it's that I felt that I was the male. I'm the alpha. You're not going to tell me what to do. Who are you? I've worked this hard to get to this point. You can't tell me anything. That's the energy I started to develop. And guess what? You will run away, every single man, if you don't decide to be feminine and stop being masculine. You do not wear the pants. He does. Men don't like bitter women. And remember, I always tell you all, I reference the Bible because what I'm saying actually is accurate. When you read, I think it's either in the book of Proverbs or in the book of Ecclesiastes, it said it is better for a man to be on the roof than to be in the same house with a bickering woman. Men don't like bitter women. They don't. They don't. That come out of the wisest man mouth. That was Solomon, because we knew he wrote those books. The wisest man. You have to heal from trauma, whether that trauma was caused by absent father or a present father that just didn't know how to deal with you, whether that was from a failed marriage with a spouse, whether that was from any man that hurt you in your life. You have to heal if you're going to date. If you are not healed, do not date. You're just going to damage somebody's son. And you're just going to make it harder for you, because you're going to start, that's going to hit your confidence, because then you're going to wonder, why is everybody running away from me? Have you ever watched that SpongeBob episode when he felt like he caught the ugly? And he was like, why everybody's running away from you? That's how you're going to feel. Because at some point, I felt that I caught the ugly. I was trying to figure out, like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And then I realized that I was really bitter. And that required me having quiet time with God. And I had to ask for, I had to ask God to help me forgive people for myself. I didn't ask him to help me forgive people so I could have forgiven them. Because what they did after, whatever they did to me, didn't matter. I literally asked God to help me forgive people so I can forgive myself for even putting myself through it. That's what I did. So men don't like bitter women. So the first one, you must be in the best shape possible. The second one, men do not like bitter women, so you need to heal. The third one, this ties into healing. The third one is embrace your feminine side. Now, God has put us on this earth, ladies, to be nurturers. I know the world and society has made us very aggressive. Workplaces has made us aggressive. Life made us aggressive, because we have fought a very long time for just rights to even be seen as a candidate next to a man. And I feel as if that era where we had to fight to be equal with men has surpassed, because now we have the same opportunities as men. Whether it's education-wise, whether it's career-wise, we have that opportunity now. And I feel as if that when women decided to get into that time of their lives where they were fighting for equality, and it required them to be masculine, to say that we could be pilots as well, we could be police officers, we could be firefighters, right? We could be CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. That time has already surpassed. So with that being said, I feel as if that we didn't know how to close that chapter and then move on, because we're still trying to be the masculine women that we are today. And like I said, I had masculine energy too. And masculine energy is derived from being scared and being hurt, because you're trying to protect yourself. And that was something that I did for a very long time. I didn't know how to be feminine. I didn't know how to allow somebody to open the door for me. I didn't know how to accept a compliment. I didn't know what it was for even somebody to take me on a date. I didn't know what it is to have somebody purchase me something nice. I didn't know that. I had masculine energy because I had probably a feminine man. And I just was not used to somebody being masculine towards me. So I decided that I was going to be the man for myself. And a lot of times, a lot of women, we don't have no choices, because sometimes it's the men that we choose to even have kids with. And some mothers have to assume that role of daddy and mommy. So automatically it's almost like impossible for her to actually like move away from being masculine. And learning your femininity comes from a place of understanding what you were put on this earth to be, and that's a nurturer. We were put on this earth to care. However, we have allowed the world to strip away that nurturing side to us. That's why we're the caretakers of kids. Men have to see it, but we're the ones that carry it and grow it. And it was like that for a reason. Because we are supposed to be the nurturers and because God made us to be feminine. A very great story to read in the Bible. I want you guys to read the story of Esther. And I feel as if you read that, you will understand there's power in being a woman. We have really tried too long to be men. It doesn't make any sense. And you start to feel lonely. And no matter what any woman says, I don't care how successful a woman is. I don't care how well put together she is. We all want somebody that we feel safe with that can take care of us. We all want somebody that we feel can have our back regardless of how successful we is. And that's why it's important to be feminine. Because men like feminine women. Men run away from masculine women. I'm telling you. Because it's almost like he is trying to figure out if you have the same thing in your pants as him. That's how he perceives you. So therefore, I advise all of you to be feminine. And how to be feminine is like the clothes that you wear, the way that you carry yourself, the words that you choose to speak. Just time to get to know you. Not putting things off because the little things matter. Whether it be the manicure, the pedicure, getting your hair done, just lighting candles, taking a bath, going to the spa, getting a massage. Do these things to like get your feminine energy up. So then you can understand that let men do all the hard work, but as women, pamper yourself, and I guarantee you somebody is going to pamper you. Okay? Now, the next trait that men look for in women, they love peacemakers. Men love women that are peaceful. Yes, I know, like most of the time we ask ourselves, like, why is that man with such a loud female, or what? Like when we see certain things that are just out of place, we ask ourselves why. Believe it or not, a high value man wants a woman that is peaceful. And when I say they want a woman that's peaceful, they want a woman that when confusion hits or when they feel as if their life is in chaos, that you bring some form of peace. If you are a woman that every time the man comes home or every time he decides to reach out to you and he feels as if that you have an attitude or you're just an unhappy person, he is not going to want to be with you. Men say they want peaceful women. I understand. You know, sometimes we just have to bring the smoke to get them to understand certain things, but we're not supposed to be bringing the smoke all the time. Sometimes, guess what? It's hard for men too in this world. And I used to think that men got it easy. They're man, right? Men have it hard too. And the last thing they need is to come home to a woman that they feel that they have to fight with too. Every day, and I'm talking from my race in particular, black men have to face so much adversities on the outside world. Whether it comes to competition for jobs, whether it comes to being stereotyped, whether it just comes to being a provider, that is a big responsibility when you have to provide not only for your offspring, but your woman. And like a lot of times, some women, they just be on demon time. Like they don't stop. Like they don't stop. And I'm a person, I can't deal with too much argument. Like after a while, I just stop. Like, and you have some women, they can go on and 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 on. No. Men like women who are peacemakers. If you are outside of the line of peace, something is wrong with you. A woman is naturally supposed to be a peacemaker. I can tell you, a woman's supposed to naturally be a peacemaker. When you read the story of Abigail was a peacemaker on behalf of her husband that was considered a very stupid man. That's what he was. And Abigail was the woman that interceded on behalf of her husband to make sure her husband was not killed by David's army. A woman's supposed to be a peacemaker by nature. If you are a woman that is always angry, mom, go seek help. Please. Because it's not cute. A man is going to run from you. You know what he's going to do? He's going to find peace somewhere else. And he does not care whether that woman can't even stand next to you on your worst day. Looks wise. Once she's a woman of peace, he will go there. That is the bottom line. Men say they want women who are peacemakers. Men say they want women who are healed. Men say they want women who are in their best shape possible. That's what the people say. This what the men them say. I did not say this. This is what men say. This is what the statistics say. And men say they like women that are feminine and not masculine. Feminine, not masculine. You were not made with two things swinging between your leg for a reason. You are a nurturer by nature. A man is a protector and a provider by nature. Okay. Men say they prefer a woman who can cook. Now, I know all of us can't cook. Let me don't say us, because ma'am, I grew up on the family island. Let me don't say all. The least you can do is know how to boil rice and make grits, right? Men want women who can cook because I feel it's something very intimate for a man when he comes home to his wife and a home-cooked meal. I feel like that's just something that they look forward to. That's why they prefer a woman that can cook. Now, I'm sure that not all of us are the best cooks, and that's okay. You need to learn. You need to practice while you are in your singleness. That's what you need to do. You need to call grandma, because most of our grandmothers could have cooked. Most of our mothers could have cooked. So I don't know why persons my age, between the ages of 19 to 27, don't want to cook. You know why? Because we always want to go to Twisted Lime. We always want to go out to, what the place name where they sell the sushi? Seafront Sushi. You know, we always want to eat out. Men don't be on that run all the time. When a man comes home, a man isn't telling you that he wants to cook just to make you feel like a slave. You know, that's what we think. Society tells us, oh, he wants you to cook, he wants you to clean, he wants a maid. No. It's a form of intimacy for both of you to know that you can spend quality time together whilst he is eating your food that you provided for him. It has nothing to do with him trying to dictate to you. I like sitting down home, eating a home-cooked meal. Sitting in the atmosphere that you are comfortable, where everything around you that doesn't concern you is going on. You are in your household, you are in your home. Men prefer a woman that can cook, and to be honest with you, when you keep eating fast food, you just get gas. Because whatever they put inside the fast food, it don't work. And then you'll be hungry later on. Because I can guarantee you, if every night, the man have to come home to Kentucky Fried Chicken, you better believe Sunday night, he's somewhere else eating somebody's food. I can tell you that. Let me tell you something. I admire my stepmom and my father's relationship. My father was married to my mother, and it didn't work out, and he got remarried to my stepmother right now. And I admire my stepmother because guess what? She makes sure my father eats every single day. No matter, like I admire so much that she literally, if she has work the next day, she preps his meals the day before. And I find that so amazing because that act of service, I feel is so humbling. And I feel it's the most genuine form of love, act of service, because I don't do this because I have to. I do this because I care. And my father has become so accustomed to that. If my daddy would literally not eat out, he can be to a function, but if he know on Sunday he coming home to my mother's cooked food, he will not eat out. And he said that's what he prefers. He said he's happy with that. And I tell you, whether it be breakfast, when my father works an overnight shift, my mother literally wakes up and she makes him breakfast. And before she goes out, she always have a conversation with him. Like before she goes out to work, early in the morning, he's knocking off 7. She has to be out by 8. But in that hour, as they are eating breakfast, they talk about things that they didn't get to talk about the day before. And she goes on with her day. Men only want you to cook because they want to spend time with you. You feel as if he's trying to make you a maid. I'm sure you want your and then when you have a family, why every night we have to go out? Why every day we eating pizza? Like why? If you don't know how to cook, you take the initiative to learn how to cook. It's like essential. Like it's an essential life skill to know how to cook. You should want to know how to cook, especially if you're single and living on your own. Food every night to buy is very expensive. I'm just saying. Then the sex trait. Now I know we all have our own sense of fashion and style. Men don't like women who dress very loudly. And when I say very loudly, they, men prefer women that are more, I don't even want to use the word well put together. Men prefer a woman that isn't shocking to the eye, but then attractive to the eye. Because, shock could mean something good or bad, right? A man doesn't want you out here having a city girl summer when he trying to take you to dinner, right? He wants you to be you could be a city girl on the beach, you could wear whatever you want to wear on the beach, but he doesn't require you to have that same type of wardrobe when he decide to take you somewhere like Kana, or he decides to take you to, Nubu. He wants you to be very well put together, because guess what? A lot of people don't know this. You feel as if when men and women together that they judge the woman first, they judge the man. If you are a person that let's say you have, I love lime greens. Lime greens and bathing suits are really, really nice. Especially if you have like a nice glow, it's very nice. But you have to dress certain colors very tastefully. So most of the times when men are out with a woman and other men look at them and other women look at them, they base how that woman looks off what that man likes. That man might be a 7-figure earner, but if he is on the side of a woman that's not dressed tastefully, or if he is on the side of a woman that is dressed vulgar, most of the times they'd be like, oh, he liked them like that. They don't ever think of it a woman, because most of the times the power goes over to the man. He makes the decision. So automatically, how you present yourself to the public, that's how the public perceives the man. And I'm sure you don't want your man to, I'm sure you don't want his respect level to go down based on how you dress and how you act. And men say they like women who wear like warm colors, pastels, peaches, pinks. They like colors like that. I don't know why. That's just something what they like. And then men also said when it comes to hair, they're very particular. Certain days for certain occasions. Some of y'all want Halloween every day. No. Some days, mom, a bob is fine. Some days braids are fine. Some days a ponytail is fine. But not every day you should be okay when the rainbow, right? Not every day you should do that. Like I said, it's a time and place for everything. However, there men just like what they like. And if you want to not be miserable this 2021, and you want a man, just try it out. If it doesn't work for you, then go back to what you was doing. But just try out what they say and let's see if it works. Now, lastly, the last thing is, and I feel like this was so common. I was like, wow, I won't believe that. Men like women that smile. Men like women with a very pretty smile. Do not be smiling from cheek to cheek. If you haven't been to the dentist in a few years, I tell you, he likes men like women that smile. And when I say, and I feel it has something to do with the energy of women, because remember, men say that they do not like bitter women. And remember, men say they don't like masculine women. I feel as if that when you find a woman that has a really pretty smile, it just warms your heart. And most of the times, when you see a mother in her mother mode, and a mother smiles at her newborn baby, the baby automatically smiles back. So therefore, your smile is so powerful to determine how a man feels about you, that it doesn't require you to always have a mean face, or which we used to say a mean mug. We're not out here. I'm trying to run from the streets. I don't know about y'all, but if y'all trying to run in the streets, I'm trying to run from the streets. We're not trying to be of the streets, right? Like Future say, she's for the streets. We trying to do the opposite of what Future say. We're not for the streets, right? So most of the times, allow the man to be intimidated. Most women don't smile because they want to feel intimidated. No, if you are a woman that's well put together, well dressed, a warm spirit, most men are already intimidated by you because they feel they can't approach a woman like you. You do not just have to put a mean face on everywhere in order to be respected by men. Smile. Literally, it's very simple. And I feel that's those 7 things that men told us are doable. Those 7 things were figure outable. I understand that sometimes we feel, oh, we're always doing things for men. when I feel as if all of those things that men require us to do, it automatically makes us feel better as women. When you decide to do those things, it makes you feel better. Even though it's for the benefit of a man, when you start to carry out those things, it makes you feel better. Who doesn't like smiling? Who doesn't like being in the best shape of their life? Who doesn't want to be healed? Who doesn't want to embrace their femininity? Like, who doesn't want to do those things? So it isn't hard. So please, like, let's try. I've tried it and it works. It really does. I've tried it. And if you try it, and I guarantee you will receive results, you will never want to go back to your old ways. So those are the 7 things that men say they want from us, ladies. And if you want a man, you should really try the things that they say that they want. And most of the things that they're asking us for, not even most, all of it, it doesn't go against our character. It doesn't like devalue us. It doesn't require us to do anything that's unethical. Everything is ethical that they ask of us, so let's try it and let's see how it works. And with that being said, thank you for being tuned for another episode of Wind Down Wednesday. See you guys next time.